everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of All of Us, the show about independent creators, mostly focused on games, but many other things will be coming up over time. We've got a great show this week. We've got Angel Guardian with Sergio Rosas, a really cool platformer, kind of an anime look and feel. I think you'll like it. We have a forum feedback with your questions. You'll understand that later. We have the news with Bend Over. And we have an interview with Ben Lesnick. Many of you remember that guy, and he worked on Wingman's Hangar. He's part of the cast here, too. We're going to interview Ben and see what he's up to. So lots and lots of fun. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get started. Everybody, I'm Eric Wingman Peterson.
And I'm Rob Designopotamus Irving.
And I'm Keith Dunkelzaw McCormick.
And we're back with less brain cells than ever before. Why are we doing this? Welcome to All of Us, by the way. With AU Horde, it's the show helping connect games, gamers, anything creative, right? We're helping indie developers find their audience. So what's going on? Things are rough in games today. It's really hard to find an audience. It's really hard to get funding and things like that. So what are we trying to do?
It's a dangerous industry. And what we're trying to do is build a life raft, basically, out of people. We're bringing everybody together.
We're building a life raft out of people. A people's raft.
We're saving the industry with all of you.
We are trying to do that. We're trying to connect the games and game makers together with a human skin life raft.
Right. That's not what it said.
I know. We do want to help independent developers. We want to help creatives find their way. And it's only happens with you and us together. That's why we made the show, All of Us. And we don't have a creative bone in our body for naming shows.
3 hours later.
By connecting creators with an audience, and the reason we're kind of doing that is some of the best IP comes from creators.
Oh, man.
Oh, buzzword!
IP. Intellectual property. So, now you know. And IP 5 times a day.
Well, at least we know someone's watching.
Yeah. So, we do know that independent games create the best intellectual property. I think we can get by with that now.
Yeah, safe now.
Yeah. With that in mind, here's Sergio Rosas in Angel Guardian, a cool sci-fi 2D, 2.5D platformer. Welcome, Sergio. How are you?
Hello, everybody. I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm really good. You know, Sergio was the art director on Conquest Frontier Wars, which was a pretty good RTS back in the day.
I was the second art director. I want to say I was the second art director on it.
Well, I was the second producer.
Yeah.
We ended up taking that one over and finishing it, right?
Yeah, we ended up finishing it.
That's cool. So, but more importantly, Sergio owns a company called, well, a few companies, but CGBot is your main company, and you guys are dipping your toe into the independent games market now.
Yeah, that's correct. So we got, CGBot is a video game art and programming company. We do a lot of outsourcing. So I like to say we make the mops and buckets of the video game industry for big projects. Big projects. We work with EA and Blizzard and Epic, a bunch of
Star Citizen.
Projects. Star Citizen, yeah, we worked on that one too.
More than mops and buckets, though. You guys, you're under lots more than that.
That's what I say. But yeah, we do definitely make mops and buckets and porta potties and all that stuff. But characters, weapons, vehicles, environments, stadiums, that kind of stuff too.
So now you're going to make a platformer called Angel Guardian. Tell me about how that came about.
So essentially, yeah, so we make the mops and buckets. We plug into giant teams, right? And so our guys are getting pretty good. And I'm trying, we got programmers that are very detail oriented into specific things they're doing on these big projects. We got artists, and so I kind of wanted to get the artists and the programmers to work together. When we're injected into these giant projects, it's rare when we get to do like the programmer and the artist can actually sit and work together on stuff. And so there's a chicken and egg problem, right? If you haven't done it, then they won't send you that kind of work. And so we decided, whenever we have downtime, whenever we're working on a project and it's done, and we have a bunch of people sitting around, not getting paid. So then we're like, hey, you know what? Let's get these guys and start a game. So we've been working on this game for a long time, I like these kind of games. I'm very old, and I used to play stuff like Contra, and we wanted to make a game that was easy or easier than these big new games. So we decided a platformer. It definitely hasn't been easy, but
Yeah.
yeah, we've been working on it for a while. But whenever we have free time, we work on it. We have a very small team that works on it full time. I think we have 3 actual full time people, but we're always, or over the course of, gosh, I think we've been working on Angel Guardian the game for 4 years. We've been working on Angel Guardian the cartoon, the idea, for probably 10.
I know that we're very proud to have you here as part of this, and we want to keep showing you. We'll keep checking in with you every couple weeks or so, and just kind of give little updates for people to follow along. And for right now, you can go to Steam and you can get your wish list. When we get our forms ready, we can have you talk to the fans there too. But in the meantime, that's the best place to be. And we want to thank you I just want to say thank you, Serge, for being here, man. This looks great. I've been watching this game for 2 years, and it looks so good, dude. You guys have done a great job.
Well, thanks for the time, EP. I appreciate it. And we'll keep you up to date.
Okay, brother. Thanks, and we will see you later. Wow, that is interesting, and it looked pretty challenging.
And if you want to see the whole interview, go check us out at the auhorde.com. And by the way, don't get me for AU.
Yeah, make sure you sign up, like, follow, subscribe, do all the things that all those YouTuber people do. Make sure you follow us and spread the word. We want literally 5s of people watching it. 10s? Well, let's not. Yeah, maybe. Woohoo! You're going for the moon. Anyway, subscribe and that way join our forums. And speaking of forums,
it's time for forum feedback.
Here's a question from Flying Wombat 777. How would a game get funding these days? A good example would be like how Star Citizen started up.
That's a great question, and well, our only question. So let's get to work on that. Funding's the hardest part. It's the starting point. Not really. That's the problem. You start with an idea, then you got the passion to go with it, and then you have to show them something. That's where the money often comes from.
Yeah, things have changed a lot. I mean, when we first, Rob and I have been in the industry for quite a while. We won't tell you
at least 5 years.
Yeah, a multiple. But I mean, the truth is, when we first started this thing, you could write like a little pitch document, and you could take that to publishers, and you could get for funding for it. They like it or they didn't like it, but at the same time, the decision for them was a much smaller risk. Nowadays, some of these AAA games are up to billions of dollars.
Yeah.
So you need more now. Unfortunately, you need to generally do a prototype.
Well, and the bar for success for the big industry is huge. So you can't take a lot of gambles on smaller projects.
That's right.
Big industries.
So that's exactly right. Which is why indies, are the way to go. And a lot of the innovation is happening with indies.
Yeah.
It's been tough market to be in right now because, AI has disrupted things. We're going through a cycle where publishers are shrinking down a little bit. And that's honestly, I know it seems like, you're on fire, but the truth is it's typical. This happens every now and then.
Every industry.
And then
especially creative.
Yes. And what do game designers and game people do? They bleed off and make smaller companies to make games. So the traditional publisher, we talked about that. There's you take it to a publisher, but you can also take it to private equity people or money people and some of these people, angel investors. Some of them will invest in it. It's that part's pretty dry right now, but it's still there. Friends and family.
Crowdfunding.
Crowdfunding. Well,
Yeah.
we know a little bit
Talk to
about
the
crowdfunding.
people.
Well, that's true.
Go talk to the people.
And early access. If you've developed something that's fun already, there's nothing wrong with going and taking it to early access and letting people play it and giving their feedback. We're kind of like in early access right now with the show, But
It's not even good yet.
Yeah, true. Yeah, no. The show?
No.
Yeah. When is it ever? But
I said yes.
one of the questions he asked also was about Star Citizen, right?
Good.
Or how did we get funding? So, I'm as one of the founders there. I can tell you, Chris was doing we had an Austin game development show, and he was going to come and announce that he was going to do another like We Committer like product, right? So I did the PowerPoint for him. I was up most of the night, did like 3 versions of it for him. He picked one. We go on stage at the game development conference, and we announce it, and we have the thing go on and some videos and stuff, and our website crashes in the first 3 minutes. Like, too many people crashed. We knew we were on to something pretty good at that point. But the truth is, it crashed because our lawyer at the time decided to try to save us money, and we had a 50-person limit on the website. Duh. Of course it's going to crash. So we ended up going on to Kickstarter while we're fixing our website, making it more robust. And I think we raised about $7 million in the first 35 days. And in fact, we did a 24-hour live stream. I can recall still being in the room with Chris, David Swafford, Martin Galloway, Sandy, myself, and Ben Lesnick. And we were trying to make up like crowdfunding, goals because
Inventing stretch
Yeah,
goals on the fly. Not a good idea, by the way, people.
Ben was still coming up with planets. I came up with a race of people. Chris was coming up with let's let the bingo carrier in the game, and if we had $5 billion, right through it. It was the craziest ride of our lives, and it was a blast. So Star Citizen is unique, though. I think it was a confluence of efforts. It was the right time. Space games have been dead. It was an icon in the industry, and Chris Roberts, right? The guy who invented pretty much.
We don't all have the name recognition to build on, so
No.
that's an important thing to keep in mind. You're not starting from there.
Right, exactly. he had a group of people at brand recognition that would help him go and still going. I mean, I'm sure Squadron 42 is coming out soon. TM. But actually, I do know it's coming out soon, TM. But anyway, whatever. So that's kind of how Star Citizen got started. It's a kind of a unique situation. You can still crowdfund.
And there's a lot of platforms.
But you got to bring your audience. The only way crowdfunding works is you bring the audience day one. So you get the spike, and then it slows out, and then the spikes at the end. So
You can, talk about it here.
what do you
That'll get like 20 more people watching.
Oh, well, yeah, you got to talk about it.
Send it into our forums.
Absolutely. Send it into the forums for crying. Where are those forums?
That's what we're here for.
Oh, I forgot about that. There's also a problem right now with predatory publishers, and not like the traditional ones, but like the new ones that have popped up. And they're willing to they're willing to give you a word salad of things that were done by PR people back in the day for a flat fee, and then they can sound like they're doing a ton, and then they want 40% of your revenue for $5,000 in work. So be careful of those if you're an independent creative. We're trying to help you. If you have any questions about that kind of stuff, by all means, come to the forums. We'll talk and help you through anything. That's what we're here for. We really, really want to help. And if you have a question on a news item, drop it into our forums.
Don't forget to include a video. We really like that. Don't forget, don't suck.
All true. If you do include a video, it's a 99.999% chance you'll be on the show. And we want you on the show, right? So let's see what's going on with the news.
Good evening, I'm Ben Dover. Here comes the news. Sony and Microsoft recently announced that they might be removing physical media support from future generations of consoles. Possibly known as the PlayStation 6 and the XX Xbox, these machines would have nowhere to stick a disc. Scientists now speculate that the Nintendo Switch 3 may not even have a console at all. simply downloading games into your brain. No word yet from meme stock GameStop on how they plan to resell secondhand downloads. Love and Deep Space stepped in it recently over plans to add a werewolf love interest to the popular otome game.
Otome is a genre of Asian-style romantic adventure games for women. So, now you know.
Stay out of my bit, Dr. Buzzbird. Anyway, the new love interest, Valko, polarized fans, leading to protests at Infold Games, the Chinese studio that makes Love and Deep Space. Infold canceled plans to release Valko, which in turn led to the counter-protests and an online petition to bring him back. The petition has already gathered multiple hundreds of thousands of signatures. Whatever happens, we'll be keeping an eye on that hottie. Rawr. Hero shooter game Marvel Rivals is turning heads this summer by giving Captain America's physique an even more outrageous upgrade.
That is America's ass.
The free-to-play hero shooter released the skin as part of a larger swimwear event that features other superheroes in skimpy outfits. Which I guess explains why Cap's waving that enormous flagpole. Finally, Fenris Creations, makers of the long-running sci-fi game EVE Online, have officially released the open-source version of their Carbon game engine. Carbon is famous for being able to handle online battles with thousands of participants in the same place at the same time. Formerly known as Crowd Control Productions, or CCP, Fenris hopes that developing the engine in public will help make the game stronger over time. All the elements of Carbon are available on GitHub and free to use, licensed under MIT, Apache, and Python licenses respectively. So get out there and build your giant space battle game. That's all for now. I'm Ben Dover, and this is the news. Good night, and good game.
Going discless.
I know. It's been coming for a while, man.
But it's weird because
Thank
the
you for-
word's not.
Thank you for getting discless, right.
I
That was a
thought so
danger
hard
word.
there.
But it has been going that way. And you're right, it's not right. I mean, there's a whole market of people that like to collect games, physical goods. And what if you want to go back and experience something that you played as a kid and you can't anymore because you don't have the disc?
I can, because I own a ton of them.
Well,
we old people like stuff.
We do, but the truth is, a lot of the younger generation is now starting to collect, and they're seeing a lot of. But you know what it does do is it lets remasters come back in. But that doesn't mean every game's going to get remastered.
That's true. Plus, you won't have anywhere to play them.
No, and you're right. I think we're going to miss discs, and we'll see if this sticks. I mean, the public's kind of really behind not doing this, so
We are going down some dangerous word roads here. And
yeah.
you're threading the needle perfectly.
Well, don't expect that every week.
Ever.
The heroin's completely worn off this week for me, so. Anyway, that's kind of what's going on in the industry right now. It's a bit scary for people that like to collect these things. We like to collect them. You know who else is a bit scary? And by the way, I think this is pretty shady.
You know, coffee-flavored water doesn't sound very good, but isn't that exactly what it is?
Shady Thoughts always make you go, It's time for this week's MVP.
Greetings, friends. My name is Ben, and the Wingman has trusted me with the great honor of revealing the first ever MVP, or Most Valuable Player, which is legally distinct from whatever it stood for on the old show. Now, before I show you the future of community engagement here on the show, let me first show you my cat. Look, he's up there. He's sleeping on a Wing Commander 3 pizza box. His name is Sully, like the Monsters, Inc. or the airplane guy. Hi, Sully. He doesn't care. Alright, now, for this first week, we had the tremendous challenge of sorting through all the incredible ideas and concepts and material and fan art and videos and so on that were posted by our incredible dedicated fans. And after watching and rereading and testing and going through every single one of them, I decided to go with the one that existed. And that's from Flying Wombat 777. They wrote, how would a game get funding? Good example would be how Star Citizen got started up. Well, Flying Wombat 777, you're the only one, but that also means you're the best one. You have put the other 776 Wombats to shame. Congratulations, you are our first ever MVP. MVP! Ah? See, we spared no expense. Glittery. Alright, see you guys next week. Or next show, which is not next week.
Thanks again, Flying Wombat 777.
It was a stacked race, but you pulled it out in the end.
It was the only question sent in this week. You folks out there, you twos of people, have got to do better. Send us questions, please.
Videos, too.
The show gets so much better when you're involved.
And we're not.
Yeah, amen to that. By the way, you want to learn a little bit more about Ben?
Sure thing.
Let's check him out.
Starring the not ready for AAA players, it's time to meet Lesnick.
Hey, everybody. I want to introduce a good friend and a guy that worked with me on a previous show we might be able to talk a little bit about. Ben Lesnick, how you doing, Ben?
Hey, not too bad. It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too, man. I'm very excited to have, most of the core of the original show is back, and we want to bring some of that fun into what we experience. What kind of, the world's kind of in a tough spot right now, so it's kind of, let's bring some humor and some joy into what's going on if we can.
And the soul of the thing. You got the guys that did the soul of the thing, I think.
The soul. All we're missing is the Viewmaster, and his head is in the show anyway. For forum feedback.
It's time for forum feedback.
Forum feedback. So one of the questions, I know you're doing MVP this week, and we're trying to figure out where everybody's going to be playing in the show. And Ben, you've joined the cast, and flipping A, glad to have you. So one of the questions was about funding on Star Citizen, and I thought we'd start with the 24-hour live stream. What are your memories? What are some of your cool memories of that 24-hour at the end of the... Well, first of all, let's go back before that. Let's talk about Chris's announcement at Austin GDC, or Austin Game Developer Conference. Do you remember that?
I do. I remember we were working out of Richard Garriott's office downtown, setting that up. I remember basically just sitting there redoing the entire crowd fund the night before.
Oh my God, yes. And then do you remember what happened on stage? I went home and wrote the PowerPoint. I gave him three options, and like different like tenors, and he only read one. And he calls, "This is right. This is good enough." And I go, and he goes, "I wanted it to sound like this." I go, "Chris, that's option 3. Just look down the sheet." He goes, "Oh, okay." And then so we got to that. But do you remember we went on stage? He announced it. He showed a little demo, and what happened to our website?
Absolutely broke the internet. They hadn't even started calling it that yet, but
it did. It broke the website. I mean, it went down in 2 minutes, man, like that. And then we find out that Ortwin, our lawyer at the time, to save the company money, had put a limit of 50 people at one time being able to hit the website, and the fans just blew it up. And by the way, broke our website. It wasn't near ready for the traffic, so we ended up having to go to Kickstarter.
I remember the crisis meeting about that afterwards, and that was something.
Yeah, we spent. Go on.
Oh, I was saying I couldn't expect it at all because there was nobody in the audience at GDC. There was like 6 guys that knew Chris from years ago. Nobody cared. I was like, oh, this is going to be the last I hear about this project. But nope.
Oh yeah, well, you couldn't tell but the first indication of where it was going to go was the website crashing. But you're right, there were maybe 20 people total, and half of them were working the show.
Yeah.
It's all about indies, man. We want to help. We want to help them find an audience, and hopefully they help us find one as well. So, listen, I want to thank you for joining us.
Of course.
I appreciate you being here, and I don't want to. I got to come up with a tagline. Join the Horde. Together we have a voice. I got to find something. I may give that to you. You used to write all the 10 for the chairmans and stuff, so you were the voice.
That was Chris the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Well, man, listen, I appreciate you being here, and we will see everybody on the show, right?
All right. Well, thanks for having me. It's exciting. I can't wait to see what happens.
Spoiler alert, if you want to see the full interview, check out the AU Horde website.
Yes, AU Horde website. AUHORDE.com.
That's right, DE, not OART.
Yeah, I know. We're not hoarders.
I mean, we could.
But we're hoarders.
We were just talking about being hoarders.
Yeah. And stop killing games.
If we all pull together, we all make better games.
That's right. I'll just grab the rope and pull together. Yeah, and again, stop killing games is sort of what we're talking about with the physical media. So, big thanks to all of you for joining us this week. There'll be a short show after where we're going to talk about live streaming. You guys can tell us what we did well, if anything was to talk about. You can certainly tell us about what we didn't do well, which I'm sure there's a stack of crap to talk about. But the biggest thing you can do for us is you can really help spread the word. Tell people what we're doing. Tell people why we're here. We're literally, all of us are working at other gigs and stuff, but we're doing this to try to help the independent developers. We really, really want to help them if we can. Coming up in a couple weeks, because we're doing this in 2-week cycles, we're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing like a show every 2 weeks, but then we'll also do I think we're going to go live stream the week between. We'll take your questions. So we're looking to have some audience participation and get back and answer questions on what's going on so that we have something every week. But for us to put together a large show like this, it takes a big effort, and we all kind of working around our full gig. So 2 weeks from now, we have a spooky look at a spooky look. We have an interesting look at Halloween the game with Ophonic. It's really cool. Your questions and videos, if there are any.
Which there will be.
Right. Otherwise, you face the wrath of Rob. We're going to meet another fun developer. We'll have an update on Extinct, and that's going fairly well. You're going to like that game. I think they might be getting close to early access, and you can get yourself in there and help them test it right now. We'll let you know more details on that. Thank you very much for joining us. This will only, again, work with your help. If we all join together, we create a much more powerful voice. The Horde, together, will be heard. All of us. And I will get so much better at that at some point. Rob, do you want to tell them where they're going to follow us?
Seems a little more homegrown that way, though.
Yeah.
Follow us on all the socials, every single social you can find. Add a few new ones. Follow us there.
We're very social.
No.
Yeah. Subscribe, like, comment on the video. Again, and join us on the show after the Stay Horde show. We're to be coming up in about 3 minutes where we're going to talk to you guys about, what you liked. Hopefully what you liked. If you have suggestions, drop them in the forums, as Rob has said. And we will see you, kind of not in the verse, but we'll see you in the Horde. So Microsoft's laying off 3,200 people. Sony's killing physical media. And everybody else is killing live service. Join us as we talk on a live stream right after this.